Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Welcome to your chemistry class of standard 7. I hope all of you are very well and safe by the grace of Almighty Allah. Today I will mainly discuss about exercise, that is question of exercise of chapter 6. That means today I will complete your chapter 6. But before that, one lesson is left, which I will discuss at first, and that is water, the universal solvent. From this sentence, we can get 3 questions. Follow the sentence carefully. From here, we can get 3 questions. What is solvent? What is universal solvent? And why water is called universal solvent? Isn't it? So at first we will know about solvent. In standard 6, you have gathered a knowledge about solution. For this, just here I am reviewing the solution. You know that in a solution there are 2 parts, solute and solvent. That means solute and solvent mixing together form a solution, isn't it? Solute is the substance which dissolves inside the solvent and form a solution. Follow here. Here as solvent water is used and solute there is a chemical substance. So when we will add this chemical substance inside the water, then this bluish colored solution is formed. So we can say solvent is a part of a solution. And how can you define solvent? We can define in a solution the substance which dissolves other substances is called solvent. So actually solvent is the substance which can dissolve other substances to form solution, isn't it? Now we will know about universal solvent. The solvent which dissolves almost all kind of substances is called universal solvent. The solvent which can dissolve almost all kind of substances is called universal solvent. But practically there is no example of universal solvent. That means there is no example of a solvent which can dissolve all kind of substances. Because this is not possible for a solvent to dissolve all type of substances. There must be some exceptions. That means there must be some substances which that solvent can't dissolve. There are different type of solvents are present, but among all solvents, water is the only solvent which can dissolve most of the substances. For this, water is called universal solvent. So the question, if the question may come like this way, why water is called universal solvent? So what will be the answer? Water is called universal solvent because it can dissolve not all kind of substances, almost most of the substances. Water can dissolve most of the substances, not all substances. Also water can't dissolve some substances like oil, fat, calcium carbonate. Such type of substance water cannot dissolve. You know that oil cannot be dissolved in water, isn't it? Or sand, this is also cannot be dissolved in water. Flour, that is atta, it is also can't dissolve in water. Like this type of fat, like this type of some substances are there which cannot be dissolved inside the water. But except this, most of the substances, chemical substances or biological substances, which are dissolved in water. For example, salt, sugar, then different gas, carbon dioxide gas, oxygen gas, chlorine gas, also different acids, different bases, sugar, like this way, the different biological samples, for example, blood. So, most of the substances are actually dissolved in water, and no other solvent can dissolve as much as substances like water. For this, water is called universal solvent. I hope you clearly understand why water is called universal solvent. Now I will discuss the questions of your exercise of chapter 6. Follow here. At first, fill in the blanks. Follow carefully. Elements are made of one component, because you know that elements are made of only one type of component. For this, there will be answer one component. Salt and sugar are compound. The smallest particle of elements is called atom. Dash is the smallest particle of compound. Which is the smallest particle? Yes, molecule is the smallest particle of compounds, because molecule carry the properties of compound, but if we break the molecule into atoms, then it will not carry the properties of that compound. For this, molecule is the smallest particle of compound, and the smallest particle of element is atom, because atom carries the properties of that element. There is nucleus at the center of the atom. Since there is present there is, for this sentence answer will be nucleus, but if there are, then you can write proton and neutron. There are proton and neutron at the center of the atom, but here actually mentioned is. For this you have to write there is nucleus at the center of the atom. Now short answered question. What do element and compound mean? I hope you know the answer. What do element is actually the smallest. What do element? The compounds matter which are composed of only one type of substance, that is called element. You give example, and the matter which are composed of more than one element, they are called compound. You give example. Explain the difference between atom and molecule with examples. Also you know the answer. What are the main themes of Dalton's atomic theory? That means you have to write here the points of Dalton's atomic theory. What particles can be found by dividing atom? So by dividing atom, we can be found three particles. They are electron, proton and neutron. Where are they located in the atom? In this case, you have to draw a figure of atom, and inside the nucleus, at the center there is present nucleus, and inside the nucleus there are present proton and neutron, and outside of the nucleus there is moving what? Electron. So like this way you have to draw a figure. Now MCQ questions. Which one is the molecule of elements? That means elementary molecule. Follow here. This is elementary molecule. This is an atom of element. This is also atom of element. This is a compound, nitrogen and oxygen, nitric oxide. And this is N2. This is actually elementary molecule, where two atoms of nitrogen form a molecule. Now there is given a stem, and according to this system you have to give answer question number 2 and 3. So what is the question number 2? Which are the substances of same properties showed through symbols and formula from the above table? So follow the table. Actually these questions is not your syllabus included, because you have not read about the properties of elements, isn't it? So this type of question will not come, but from since this is present in your exercise, for this I I am explaining here. Follow here. The question is what? Which are the substances of same properties? So same properties here actually follow there. Chlorine and fluorine, they are same properties because they are present in same group in the periodic table. When you will read in higher class in standard 9, then you will read about this periodic table in detail. In that time you can easily give answer of this type of question. So here the fluorine and chlorine are the elements of same properties because they are present in same group 17. For this their properties are same. So answer will be what? 1 and 4. So matter 1 and 4. C number will be the answer. Which substances have equal atomic number? This is a totally wrong question because atomic number never be equal of two elements. So actually here question will be which substances have equal number of atoms. So gives correction everybody. Which substances have equal number of atoms? Because atomic number never be equal for two elements. Now follow the table. Follow here. There are 3 atoms of oxygen is present in ozone molecule, isn't it? And also in this compound there are 3 atoms. Sodium atom 1, 2, 3. Sodium, oxygen, hydrogen. And here also 3 atoms, 3 oxygen atom. There are 4 atoms. There are 2 atoms. There are only 1 atom. So only 3 and 6 in these 2 matter number of atoms are same, that is 3. So answer will be 3 and 6. I hope you can understand. Now follow the creative questions. 3 matters and their atomic numbers are mentioned in the following table. Follow here. Matter 1, number of atoms, not atomic number. Number of atoms are mentioned. There will be sodium is 1 atom of sodium, 1 atom of chlorine, Cl. Then in second matter there is only 2 atoms of fluorine, and in third matter there are all present 1 atom of carbon and 2 atoms of oxygen. Now follow the questions. What is the symbol of helium? You know, He is the symbol of helium. Why is coal an element? Describe. Coal is actually a substance which is actually mainly carbon. The main chemical substance of coal. Coal means koila. The main chemical substance of coal is carbon. And since carbon is an element, for this coal is also an element. Okay. Coal, that is koila, is mainly carbon. Since the carbon is an element, for this coal is also an element. Write the chemical name of number 1 matter with the formula and explain its structure. Explain its structure. This is not actually your syllabus related because you have not learned the structure of compound, isn't it? You just learned about the structure of atom. So what will be the chemical name? Follow the table. 1 sodium atom, 1 chlorine atom. So if you write together sodium chlorine, so what will be the chemical name? Sodium chloride. Sodium chloride. And its formula will be NaCl. Understood? And its structure drawing you will learn in standard 9. Now number 2 of the table is an element and number 3 is a compound. Explain. Follow the table. Here number 2 matter is only 2 fluorine atoms and number 3 matter is 1 carbon atoms and 2 oxygen atoms. So CO2, that is carbon dioxide, and that is fluorine molecule. So this is also this is obviously an elementary molecule because here only one type of element, that is fluorine. 2 atoms of fluorine is combined together and form a molecule. For this is a elementary molecule. But In third matter, there are present more than one type of element, that is carbon and oxygen. So this is obviously a compound, and that is carbon dioxide compound. Like this way you have to explain. Now follow the stem of another creative set. There is an atom where proton number is 6, that means there are 6 protons are present and 6 neutrons are present, and follow here 2 electrons are shown in this atomic structure, but you know that in an atom always the proton and electron number is same. So if since there is present the proton number is 6, so obviously there will present 6 electrons, isn't it? But in first shell, first energy shell, there is given 2 electrons, so also 4 electrons are present in the another energy shell. Now follow the questions. What is atom? You know, the smallest particle of an element is called atom. What is the difference between O and O2? This is very important question. This O means only one atom of oxygen. This is the atomic state of an oxygen. But here O2 means 2 atoms of oxygen which combine together to form a molecule. So this is the molecular state of oxygen. This is atomic state, this is molecular state. Now you have to write the difference between atomic state and atom and molecule. How? For example, it cannot exist freely in nature, but it can exist freely in nature. It can take part in reaction directly, it cannot take part in reaction directly. Like this way you have to write the difference. Putting the required electron in the second orbit, draw a diagram. Very easy. Just in the second orbit, how many electrons will be there? 4 electrons, because here proton number is 6. So 6 protons are present. So we know that in an atom, electron and proton number is same, always equal. For this, there will be 6 electrons. Out of 2 electrons are present in first energy shell, and so second orbit there will be 4 electrons. Like this way you have to explain, and finally you have to draw the figure. Now give reasons in favor of the diagram that you have drawn. That means why you have drawn this figure like this way, that is 2 electrons are present in first orbit and 4 electrons are present in second orbit. You have to explain this in D number question. How can you explain? You have to explain 2n square formula, which I have discussed in my lecture. According to 2n square formula, we know that electrons are arranged in different orbits. So according to this formula, first orbit contains 2 electrons. You have to show the calculation. Second orbit contains maximum 8 electrons. If there are present only 4 electrons, for this 4 electrons are present in second orbit. Here can maximum 8 electrons can be present in second orbit. So just you have to explain 2n square formula with explanation and with calculation. So I hope you can clearly understand about these questions like this way. Creative sets may come from this chapter, but my dear students, you have to practice writing formula very perfectly and more, because in next CT maybe I will take on writing formula. So for this you have to practice more and more. So today up to this. Thank you everybody.